Hey, how are you guys? So it is January 3rd, and yes, my Christmas tree and lights are still up. My son has asked me to leave them up, so I've said, well, okay, let's do it. The great news is I was able to take about 10 days off, and the house is straight. My jewelry is organized, my desk is organized. That long list of stuff, that personal stuff, has been crossed off. So a lot has been done. It has been probably the craziest Christmas of my life. So, I know you are reading the headlines going, what the heck, Joy, are you talking about? So, back in my heyday, my first heyday, I'm going to have another one. I was on a helicopter going from Nice, France to Monaco, the country, for I think it was an 8-day Tony Robbins Platinum trip. To make a long story slightly short, I met a person and a man and his wife on that helicopter trip, and we hung out together. We did the whole Monaco thing. We had a talk from a guy who talked about quantum physics. Completely over my head. I was incredibly lost. But I was hanging out in Monaco with incredibly rich people, doing things I had never done before, and I was completely out of my league. I was 31, and since I was making money hand over fist with real estate, I had the ability to be there. I wish I had been a little bit more smart in my brain. That makes no sense. I wish I knew how to hang out with these type of people in order to really maximize the people I did get to meet. But life is what it is. So years later, I'm in India, and I get an email from a good friend of mine saying, hey, someone wants to talk to you. I'm like, okay, I remember that person. It turns out that, life being what it is, he had ended up in prison. And he remembered me, and he thought it was incredibly interesting that I had gone to India, not just talked about it, but actually done it, and now I was living in there. So he wanted to be pen pals. Okay, let's be pen pals. Not a problem. It was interesting. So we wrote back and forth, every couple times a month or something, just about different things. I didn't really know what to say to him, and it just was what it was. But we were talking, and then I met my ex, the gentleman in India who I ended up marrying. And I had guy friends, but I didn't really have any older guy friends. So I was able to bounce a lot of things that were happening in our relationship and in how I felt and in life off of my friend in prison. And our friendship got deeper, and it was great. It was so nice to have someone who came from the Tony Robbins world, who understood, how you want to think and act and be when you are trying to live on a higher vibration, and have that person give me their complete, feedback. So over time, our friendship grew. And then 2017 rolled around, where I was locked into a marriage that was horrible. And it was not his fault. It was our fault. It was life's fault. It was America meets India, falls in love, and honestly has no idea of each other's culture. That's the long and short of it. It was not, neither of us are bad people. It was culture that caused so many of our problems. And there was a lot of other factors involved in it. Okay, well, it was what it was again. I know, I hate to say that. Is that my get out of jail phrase? It was what it was. I don't really know what else to say. It was a crappy relationship. It was time to leave it, so I did. I ended up in America, and I didn't really know anybody. I'd been gone for 10 years. So most of my friends had disappeared, and the great news was the person who was in prison was available, and our friendship got incredibly deep. He believed in me. He wrote me the most beautiful letters about how I could do this and how I was amazing and how I had done so much in my life. And even though I was a single mom, literally broken into a million pieces, having no clue of how to even work again. I mean, it was such a struggle, you guys. Having to learn how to sit down at a desk and work for 8 hours a day when you didn't work for 4 years. And then how to take care of a kid. Whoo! That's a whole nother cup of tea. You know, here I am living 1,000 feet from the beach with a 2.5-year-old who's in bed by 8:30. And guess what? Mom's at home at 8:30 too, because that's what you do when you have a 2.5, 3-year-old. So our pen pal relationship grew incredibly deep. And I am the one who started saying, hey, you know, if you get out, do you think we, you know, I turned it into romance. I'll be the one to take the whole blame for that. But what was really, really awesome was that I had, for 3.5 years, a man who deeply believed in me, who deeply trusted me, who wrote me the most beautiful letters. Once in a while we'd have phone calls, and who was the wind beneath my wings. That was what I had. He believed in me to going through to Columbia. He believed in me moving back to Gainesville. He believed in me. All of it. I had someone there to say, hey, you're going to do this. You're going to do good at this. You got this, girlfriend. And we need cheerleaders. We need someone who's got our back. All of us do. Because it is a lonely world we live in nowadays. I don't even know how people function in this country. And I just know I have to sit down and put down roots. And in 3 years, I will have friends and I will have people around. And I do have a ton of people I know online. And yes, it's through phone calls and stuff, but it's not where I can touch them and feel them. I'm very much a people person. I was raised in a community. I'm from a big, big family. When I've got lots of people around me, that's when I'm happiest. In my house in Columbia with those women, that's how I survived COVID. Having those women around me is how I handled 2.5 months of lockdown. Not a question in the world. I had people around me. Now we're here in Gainesville, and it's a big, beautiful, empty house with my kid and I. And guess what? I can do this. So, let's continue that crazy story. In May, the gentleman got out of prison. However, because he is not from this country, he was sent to immigration. And it was interesting. It was this, that, and the other, and it was just a lot of drama, and it did not go as any of us expected. So it was always like, he should be getting out soon, but that soon kept changing and changing and changing. Until it was like, okay, they're going to be deported. You know, it was just lots of drama and a lot of heartache when just, you know, not knowing. That sometimes is the worst thing in the world. Well, Christmas Day, I went to send him a Merry Christmas letter, and I found out he was released. Made some phone calls, found out he'd been released a couple days ago before that, and he went to spend time with his family. So I got one phone call from him for a total of about 1 minute. And the phone call said, hey, it said a few things. And that was that. The next day I got a text message saying, I'm too stressed. I can't talk to you. And I haven't heard a word from him since. So yes, I've been crying. But you know what? I got this. I have sent a letter, actually a voicemail. I can do a voicemail, haha. The beautiful thing about being free. I don't have to write a letter or an email. And I said, hey, I wish you the best in your life. Take care of yourself. Go with God. Because I cannot hold on to something that is not mine. Doesn't matter if I've got thousands of letters saying something. Actions speak a lot louder than words. So, that is the story of being in love with a person who can write you wonderful letters. But you know what? I've also really gone deep on a lot of things in the last couple of days. And as God always does, he sent this book I'm reading. I opened it up to the next place I needed to start reading again. And it talks about your Mr. Right or something like that. And so the book I'm reading is called Money, a Love Story. And the woman who writes it talks about how all of us women really have something that is going to save us. A job, a man, a raise, a new CEO, something that's going to come along and save us from our money problems. And I will be honest, that relationship with that guy was going to be, I had built some beautiful castles in the sky. And that was going to save me. It's truth. I can't say it any other way. However, thankfully, over the last couple of months, I've been getting myself straight. I've got my mortgage license. I have actually been hired by a wonderful company, and things are starting to really work out well. And money is starting to come in the door. Yes! That is huge. But I no longer have anybody coming to save me. But she said something in this book which was like, okay, I'm going to hang on to that with all I've got. She says, once you have stopped believing that there is something coming to save you, you start depending on your own energy and your own flow and your own work to make it all come together. It's like, okay, I can definitely take that. I can definitely use that, and I can make it my reality. There is nobody coming to save me. It's just me and my adorable little boy. And guess what? I've got this. As I told you guys a few months ago, I'm going to share with you guys the story of the Phoenix rising. Crashing and burning, going deep on that old burning crap. And slowly rebuilding. But there's also something else that I don't know if you guys have known. I've been building for 3.5 years and I'm still not fixed. There's still a work in progress. I don't think we change and fix and build that quickly. I think things take years, not just months or days. It takes a lot of time to rebuild. So, my final savior, I'd like to say ship, I don't even know the terminology, but is gone. It's just me, myself, and I. And why am I sharing this with you guys? Because I know all of us have dreams. All of us have hopes. I've been very lucky to have someone to share them with. And I am not going to allow myself to crumble into a million pieces because that person is not going to hold up on their word. And they might. I doubt it. But I am going to say thank you for allowing me to dream. Thank you for allowing me to go deep into myself to see what it is I want. And I'm not going to say they're the whole reason why I did it. But they definitely were an inspiration. They were definitely someone who nudged me in the right direction to cause me to go deeper on what it is I want. They also said and taught me things that I'm going to remember and I'm going to ask for from the next man I'm with. One of the things that he said was, I've got your back. You can do anything you want. It's like, holy shit, really? Anything? Anything. I'm like, the freedom that just that idea gave me was impressively incredible. That someone could have my back that much. Now, of course, I can hear you all saying, yeah, but he's bailing on you. He is. But I at least got to understand and see that concept. I didn't even know it existed. So, here's to another stepping up into my own self. 2021 is going to be a good year. It's not going to be the best year ever. It's going to be a great year, but I've got many more coming. So what are you guys doing in 2021? How's your days going? Do you have any plans? I don't do New Year resolutions. I gave up on all those things. It's just called let's get a little bit stronger. Let's get a little bit stronger. Let's do more walking. Let's do more exercising. Let's do more eating healthier. Let's cut out more sugar. Let's work a little bit smarter. I've got my schedule laid out for this coming year and what I'm doing for working and what I'm doing for taking care of myself and also for my online business. And I invite all of you to come along with this crazy journey. And thank you so much for coming on here. Thank you for looking and watching it. Trying to go through all your comments. How are you, Miss Hannah? Good to see ya. Deborah and Tanya and Jennifer, Cody and Amy. Hey, Letty, how are you? Miss Mitzi, Roma, Chris, Paul, James. I'm kind of wanting to stop being strong, though, James. I am looking forward to just having some good times. I think I've reached the end of wanting to be strong. I'm strong. I'll never stop being strong. It's not going to happen. I will always be strong. But I'm looking forward to some better times. I know we all are. We all are. 2021, we were all like, come on, let's have a little bit of just ease. All right, well, that's all for now. I wish you guys a happy 2021. Take care of yourselves. I am going to watch a little bit of TV and go to bed. Oh, and read my EFT stuff and start doing some EFT. It's time to do it. I have pulled out these documents I've been carrying around for 15 years. And, yeah, it's time to do it. That's why I didn't get rid of them. I knew EFT was something I definitely needed. So, back to it. All right. Thanks so much. I do have this. Lots of love to you. Bye.